Hello everyone, it's Amy, and I am just here to show you what I was playing with last night. I got this book when I went to the city, and this is a 2-hour country cross-stitch book. And I've had this idea for a long time, but I've never tried it. And it's painted cross-stitch. So I was looking through, and I found this little cow right here, and I thought that he was really cute. And then I thought that these butterflies were really cute. But I really don't do stitching. But I really love the fact that it's got like a pattern, and I thought, you could always do that with graph paper and paint. And so here is my painted cross stitch. Here is my little cow, and I thought it turned out so cute. I haven't decided yet. I might want to draw all the way around it. I did draw in the face and the tail because they had that on there where they had stitched that part in. And then I decided I wanted to try the butterflies. So that's what the butterflies look like, and I thought that they turned out, the pink and purple is shiny colors, so sorry for the glare on that. But yeah, and it takes such a short period of time. I think that the cow, that was the first thing I did, and I think it took me about 15 minutes. The butterflies, I think, took about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to show you really quick how I did that. And all you have to do is you look at your pattern. And when you look at your pattern, you can see that starting off at the butterfly at the top, there's like 2 squares, then 4, then 5, then 5, then 9, then 5, then 7, 7, and then 2 and 2. And all you do is you just use your paint to fill in those squares. So I'm just going to do that really quick. I picked blue paint because it's darker and I thought you might be able to see it. And all I have is a dowel here that I don't know what I pulled it off of something, you can tell. And or you could use the eraser if you have like a new eraser on a pencil, or just anything that you have that's round like this. And then I'm just going to follow that pattern. So it was, just going to kind of go in the middle here, it was 2 squares. And I did notice that in order to get a really good, in order to make it really well, you need to get paint each time. So get the paint on your brush and then tap it off, because otherwise you wind up with a great big glob. So it was 2, and then it was 4, starting 1 outside the 2. And at first it may not look like anything. I thought, oh, this might not work. But by the time you're done, it looks really cool. And then it was 5. Starting right at the edge of the 4. But it's so easy. And I think it turns out really cool. I like the looks of it. And then it was 5 again. And I'm doing this in kind of a hurry, so it's a little bit more splotchy than, missed one there. Okay, and then next it is 9, starting 1 in from the 5. And the thing is that you don't have to really count the squares once you get started. It's kind of like, I know that I had to start 1 in from the 5, and then I just looked at how far over I had to go. More there, and 1 more here. And then to do that top part of the wing, there was 1 left open, and then it was 5. And 5 again. Yeah, I thought, oh, I don't know about all that counting, because it's, my sister calls it counted cross stitch. And, but there really isn't a lot of counting to it. And then the 4 is over 1 from the 5. But it's kind of like, where do you start? You start 1 over and you end at the same line, so you don't really have to count much. And then it's 2 right in the middle of the 4. Okay, and then the next line is in 2 from each side. Okay, and stop right there. And then the next one is 1 further from each side. 1 out. So see, that's where you don't really have to count the squares. You just have to look, where do I start and where do I stop? On the cow, because he had little patches in the middle of him, it was a little bit more paying attention to where you were going, but still it was pretty much just like this. And then the next one is exactly the same as this one. This is just so easy, and it's so fun. And then you could doodle in each one of these circles, you know, put a little swirl in each one. I've thought about that. I haven't done that yet. You know, you could draw around the outside. You can draw in some detail. And then the last one is come in one from each side and make 2 dots. And there we go. That butterfly is done. Isn't that cute? So anyways, if you have a counted cross stitch book or cross stitch, whatever you call it, and you don't do cross stitch, but you want to play with it because the patterns look cute, just go ahead and pull it out and get some kind of a round out. You could even do a square if you got a little square piece of wood and then fill in the whole square. But I mean, look at all of these. My husband said, oh, look, it's a racing chicken because it's black and white checks. So, and the little sheep, and there's just so many patterns in this book. I'm going to do the dragonfly. I think that's really cool. And so I just thought that I would show you this. And the other thing is on the cow, there's some where there's just a half of a square, and all I did was I just took a piece of paper. There's somewhere it's like just a half on a triangle. I took a piece of paper and I just put it from edge to edge on that circle, and then I just lined up my thing and did it like that. So then see, that's just a half of that little square on an angle instead of the whole thing. So that's, I was thinking, well, how do I get a half a square? I was thinking maybe I would like carve out the end, one end of this to make it just a half a circle, but that works just as easy. Just don't mess up the paint that you've already got down. I went ahead and I did those after. I did everything except for the half squares on the cow, and then I just went back and did that half square after it was dry. Like right here, there's just a half a square. I think actually that was, oh, and right here there was a half a square, but it was the top half, so then I just used my whole circle and just went in the top half. So yeah, so that's fun. I hope that you all maybe try that. If you have some of these books and you think, oh, I don't want to do cross stitch, because I know that I don't want to do cross stitch, but I love to paint and I love to play, and I just really love the looks of how that looks, just all kind of geometric. And again, like I said, you can doodle on it and draw on the outsides and make it even more distinct, but I really like the looks of that too, just like it is. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.